File menu. In this series of tutorials, we're going to go through the different menus available in Soundbooth. Let's start by looking at the File menu. Here we have what you would expect from a typical file menu. We have the New option. Let's click into the focus here. New, audio file from selection. You can see I have a selection made, so it's giving us that option. Audio file from clipboard. It's grayed out, so let's just double check. I'm going to copy this area that's selected using the key command, Command C. Now I can do audio file from clipboard. Empty audio file. We can create multi-track files, multi-track file from waveform, multi-track file from channels. We can open recent. We can browse and bridge. Now the bridge is really the control center for the Adobe Creative Suite, which is not currently installed in this computer, so it's grayed out here. If I had the suite installed, this would be not grayed out and we could use it. This allows us to go through there and then pull things in. We can record files, we can close, which is the current one, we can close all, we can save as, we can save selection as, and we can save all. Now snapshots we're going to get into a little later, but this is where you can create new snapshots, and this has to do with the history of what you've done with editing the different files. So you can actually save a snapshot of your edits, and you can rename it once it's saved, and you can delete it as well once it's saved. We can import files, markers, scores. We can export a multi-track mixdown, clip mixdown, channels to mono files, markers, speech, transcription. Now this is a good look at kind of the whole methodology of what we're experiencing here. If something is grayed out and you can't use it, but you're expecting to, probably you've done something incorrect or you're in the wrong file to do that. For instance, I've got a single file here, and so I cannot do a multi-track mixdown because this is not a multi-track section. Adobe Dynamic Link. This is nothing like the bridge. If we had the suite installed, we'd be able to import After Effects compositions and import Premiere Pro sequences. Since this is just a standalone Soundbooth installation, those two things are grayed out. We have to have those installed simultaneously. We can also look at Adobe Sound document settings. This shows us things like if it's for the embedded mixdown, if it's flash compatible, if it's custom. And then it has a little dialogue here about the embedded mixdown, determining the playback quality of Adobe Sound documents and other applications such as Adobe Flash and Adobe Premiere Pro. So if you're working a lot with Flash, in this case, we'd probably want to check that so that it's compatible, so that if we were using the whole link between the two with the .asnd file format, which also check that out in one of the other tutorials when we talk about that, because that's a pretty cool new feature, then we're going to definitely want to make this compatible. In this case, it's not as big a deal because we have a custom file that's just being used isolated from everything else, and so it has a different sample rate and sample type. Cancel. And we have Reveal and Bridge. Again, not installed with the suite, so we can't use it. But keep that in mind. This is really one of those areas which allows us to come work between all the different programs in the suite. And if you have the entire suite installed, this may be something you're going to use a lot more often. Okay, let's go on to the next menu.